Hello, friends and enemies. Welcome back to Weekly Allowance, the world's only toy review show where we went out to the desert and then came home. Because as you know, no one ever returns from the desert, at least not in one piece. Because there's guys like this out there. The new Cosmic Legion's OxKrewe Book 2, Thraxxian Hunter. We've been going over the figures that we got from this wave. We've looked at Bungie. We've looked at OxKrewe. Next is this guy, obviously. And we have one more after that, and that will be it for our selections for this particular wave. Let's go ahead and dive in. As always, window in the front, summary of our story on the side, and then on the other side we get a little blurb about our character. This isn't necessarily a character, it's more like an army builder, the same with the last Thraxxian that we got, the Thraxxian Scout. That one was greenish, this one is deserty colors with a very intimidating helmet. So whereas our previous Thraxxian, the Thraxxian Scout, was more of just, you know, a scout who is willing to perpetrate violence if it needs to, this guy wants violence. And then on the back, as usual lately, a list of all the Cosmic Legions that we have gotten thus far. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't mention my beverage for the evening. It's a dirty chai, and I put way too much chai in it because it is spicy. Almost too spicy. And that tells you something about how white I am. So, let's get started. Opening figures in the desert was fun, but it was, not easy. I'm here in my review room. The loud AF air conditioning is chugging along right beside me. I wanted to show off this insert art too. As always, fantastic work. The illustrator for Four Horsemen, that as far as I know has illustrated pretty much all their stuff, is Nate Birch. I hope I'm saying your last name correctly, or at least semi-correctly, because I really love the work you do. What a dream job. Looks like there's some sort of cobbled together vehicle with a scapeback skull on the front. It's kind of gruesome. Wonder how Bungie feels about that. Fantastic work as always. This guy also has the side packaging that we've seen in some of these releases where there's more stuff on the side. Save space and add security, I guess, but it is a little irritating to remove these. Maybe that's just a skill issue. Cause you gotta cut, you gotta cut, you gotta cut. But I mean, it's not like I'm complaining about getting to open up a toy. Especially Cosmic Legion, it's always fun to see what's going on. Cause you know the drill around here. We look at these when they go up for order, we order them, and then I particularly forget everything about them, what they come with, what they look like. So it's always a new adventure when I actually get it in hand and open it up. Can you drink too much coffee? Because I think I have today. Now I'm drinking tea on top of coffee, which is extra caffeine. Caffeine I don't need, by the way, because it doesn't work on me. I just like the taste. I mean, I guess I am addicted. I'm just addicted without any positive benefits. And that's the little insight into my life that you guys get when you'd probably rather have a silent unboxing. All right, first things first, let's just go ahead and compare him to his cousin, Thraxxian Scout. So as you can see, pretty much all reuse of the body of these lower leg pieces, this belt piece, and then he'll come with the same type of head that the Scout did. He doesn't get this cool, like, organic harness thing, but he does get a neat cloak. Or she. I mean, just because these appear to have male physiology doesn't mean that they are. I mean, they're aliens, could be anything. Anyway, we also get new, I think they're new, forearms, because before we just had these gauntlets and they don't come off, they're just part of the figure. But now we get these spiky little forearms. So that's cool, I like that. Nice attention to detail too, because the spikes are really nicely painted. I don't see any bleed or anything. But yeah, this is another guy that would have fit in well in the desert. I thought about bringing him for a desert review, but it's just like 3 toys. It was just too much. You saw how I suffered just unboxing those 2. A third one might have killed me. But yeah, I already had a Thraxxian, but this guy looked too cool to pass up. Just, you know, another variant, but very cool looking. It definitely looks more vicious, more hardened, which is saying a lot because the previous guy looked pretty hard. As always, appreciate the scale, texture on Four Horsemen figures, lots of variety. This, I think, it's been quite a while. I think the Thraxxian body is mostly reuse of Oleg Thygar, which was wave 1 of Cosmic Legions, which seems like a lifetime ago. So this one comes attached with a head that has a really cool helmet made of bone. I assume scapeback bone. Scapebacks seem to be plentiful, dangerous, spiky. You want that spiky, thick armor for your head. And it's hard to tell because his eyes are so shadowed, but I think they are red, or at least like a reddish brown. They're really deep set in there, which is another thing I really appreciate about Four Horsemen figures is there's a lot of depth. They're not afraid to get really deep in the nooks and crannies, which adds really nice texture, really nice dynamism to their figures. So we got more bone armor down at this waist piece and then these shin guards. But yeah, we're looking pretty much at a 1-to-1 for the Thraxxian Scout, which is fine with me. This guy's just a variant, just another army builder for if you want your OxKrewe to get attacked. It's worth noting that the other Thraxxian came with a plastic loincloth. This one comes with a soft goods one that is wired. Really nice dusty beige, nice tattered cloak in the same color. Everything is made better with the cloak. If you want to make a character 10 times cooler, just add a cloak. Once again, really nice bone texture. So on the last one, his armor was more akin to, I thought, like driftwood, but this is definitely bone. Or some kind of alien driftwood. Who knows? Articulation should be more or less the same as the other guy. Let's see. Oh, his cloak comes in 2 pieces. You've got the neck wrap and then the cloak itself. Just an interesting way to do it. Probably better, because otherwise you'd kind of have to rewrap it the way it was, and that can get confusing for someone like me. We'll put that aside and look at articulation. So he's got a hinge right here. I haven't heated him up yet, which I should probably do. Oh, you know what's interesting? I just realized he does not come with pauldrons. I guess the other one didn't either because he had that harness thing on already, but yeah, there's these pauldron holes, but no pauldrons. Interesting. It's not a Mythic or Cosmic Legion if it doesn't come with pauldrons, so I don't know what that makes this guy. But yeah, head is on a hinge and ball joint, so you get a lot of nice head movement. Head doesn't get in the way of itself. I think we're looking at pretty normal. I mean, we've seen this before, which isn't a bad thing. It's reuse, but we pretty much know what he will do. Some of his parts do get in the way a little bit, but not nearly as much as in some other figures, so you should be good to go. You're fine. I love the legs on these guys because they're on a hinge and they just go out so far. And you also get a thigh swivel, really nicely disguised. The great thing about scaled characters is that you can hide a lot of those cuts. Got a knee, and of course that has a swivel as well, and then there's a swivel at the shin guard, and then another hinge and swivel at the ankle. So yeah, articulation we have seen before, but not bad. For accessories, he comes with an okay assortment. First off, you can see what I was talking about, these holes here where you would plug in pauldrons. If you would rather those holes be closed up, you have this alternate back piece that can just plug in there and cover those holes. That'll be especially nice if you want to keep the cloak off of him, which I don't know why you would do that. Sounds like something a psycho would do. Hands, oh my goodness. So many hands. Whoa, don't fall over, buddy. He looks like he's using the force. We've got some scaly fists. We've got some trigger finger hands. These guys know what guns are. And then we've got some holding things hands. One on an X-axis, one on a Y-axis. And then he's equipped with these kind of grasping, like reaching kind of hands. He'll also come with 2 weapons. This really cool looking spear. Looks like they just broke off a chunk of rock and stuck it on some wood. Really neat looking. The paint on that is great. It really looks like a shard of some kind of rock. And then this animal bone, which looks very earth-like in nature. But hey, it's a cool inclusion. And then finally he comes with an extra head. And yeah, you can see those red eyes. They might not be coming across in my camera, but they're definitely a red, intimidating. And something else that might not be coming across through the camera, he may appear at first to just be, you know, maybe 2 shades of brown, but really when you look closer, there's a lot of hues going on in there. There's a reddish brown. There's a kind of a burnt umber down in the scales, then kind of a beigey dusting on top, and my lights are making the light reflecting him look purple, which is an awesome effect. Kind of gives him an iridescent look, which would be awesome. It'd be really cool to customize one of these guys into some kind of iridescent color. Does that fit the lore? I don't know. It's your toy though. You can do what you want. Something I really like about this one, and it's kind of illustrated here, is that once you put the alternate head on, you adjust his stance a little bit. He comes off as much less threatening, a little bit more curious, which I really like. So he doesn't have to give off the aura of a bloodthirsty killer. He can just be kind of maybe an offshoot of his tribe, just someone that's more curious, less predisposed to immediate violence. And I really like that option. You know, it's an army builder, but you can kind of assign your own personality and story. So let's again compare him to the Thraxxian Scout. They're obviously going to be the same height, but I've got this one crouched a little bit. His knees are bent a little bit. This one appears taller, but yeah, they are the same height. They look pretty good together. They look awesome. So if I slip these guys to the side, here they are with Eularia, which is a member of the OxKrewe. And then if you want to see them with a more standard sized action figure, here is Marvel Legends Rogue. So not bad. I mean, scale-wise, they're definitely bigger, but they're aliens. So, I mean, and of course here is Bungie. He's a good boy, Bungie is. So I think canonically Bungie belongs to OxKrewe, but these two fit really well together, actually, just color scheme. And of course he could ride Bungie. I think anyone pretty much can ride Bungie. Maybe not the OxKrewe guys because their suits are really big and bulky, but I think a Thraxxian could for sure ride Bungie. I love Bungie so much. I'm sorry. I know the reviews about this guy, but look at that face. What a great little guy. And as always, you know who likes to join us on our space adventures. It's Wasteland Neil. Surviving the Wasteland. Look at these guys. This could be like a Mandalorian situation. This guy adopts Wasteland Neil, and they ride Bungie into the sunset. Really solid army builder. Can't go wrong with another Thraxxian. And he has a cloak, which is always cool. So that's going to do it for today. I did want to let you guys know that if you would like to support me, I do have a Patreon. Now, it's not a toy Patreon, it's an art Patreon. And I was bullied into saying this by Patrick, who said I should promote myself more. So if you're interested in art, if you're interested in like creatures and junk, I do that. At certain tiers, you get like actual things from me. You get like prints and stickers, and some tiers get a sketch every month. I am kind of planning a redesign of the tiers and stuff to make it more accessible. So that'll probably be coming soon. But if you want to join in the meantime, I mean, feel free. There's also a free tier. Every now and then I post free content. So yeah, that's just one way you can support me and my unhealthy toy buying hobby. As always, thank you for being here. Likes and subscribes are very much appreciated. Comments are more than welcome. And I'll see you guys on the next one.